The thing about that Quiet on the Set documentary was how people's reaction to it was still so filled with vitriol towards Dan Snyder. When at the end of that documentary, Dan Snyder is the least of my fucking worries. And he was the least of my worries before I sat down and watched the fucking documentary. Like, when I heard about the Quiet on Set documentary, I just figured that they had hard evidence. Like, this is going to be what all the fan theories I've been hearing for years have been leading to. And this is going to be the thing that exposes it for what it really is. And like I said, by the time I finished watching the documentary, my question was, why did y'all center this so much around Dan Snyder when you had Brian Peck and all of those other pedophiles that were convicted pedophiles, like convicted in the court of law? Not only convicted in the court of law, but Drake Bell suffered consequences from that shit. So by the time that documentary wraps up and I get on the internet to see how people are feeling, and everyone's, oh my god, can you believe it? Everything we knew about Dan Snyder was true. When I start seeing shit like that, I'm like, did y'all really watch the documentary? Or did you only fast forward until you seen Dan Snyder's face? Like, here it is, about a year since the documentary came out, and I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen people go at Disney for hiring a convicted pedophile. And no one's coming at Disney for that. Everyone's mentioning it, but nobody's really like, hey, let's cancel Disney over this shit, which they should be, because that's a cancelable offense. If you're going to cancel somebody for anything, that's what you cancel them for. But yeah, as for Dan Snyder, bro, like, just think about your manager at work. And imagine if your manager was responsible for millions upon millions of dollars and shit and stuff like that. He wasn't, you like, I don't see somebody being firm on set or even being an asshole. Even if he was an asshole on set, I don't see that being a criminal charge. And maybe I would have felt a little bit that way towards Dan Snyder if I didn't see how hard they were actually coming at Dan Snyder when they really had nothing on him in that documentary. Bullshit, they talk about Brian Peck and all those other pedophiles, like, they're just like background characters and shit. Like, what they did doesn't matter. That's how the Quiet on Set documentary treated that. So, but even setting that aside, all of this shit stems from these online conspiracy theories.